We need government and health employers to meet us with meaningful action.
BC Nurses job action lands on the island. What this means for patients and for the multiple hospitals targeted on Vancouver Island. An island staple dealing with vandals. What this means for the sand sculpting competition set in Parksville. Victoria's Pride Week wraps up with the pinnacle event. Tens of thousands took in the most colorful parade of the year. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. BC Nurses expanding job action today with new picket lines here on the island. It comes as the BC Nurses Union remains locked in tense contract negotiations with the province after members voted to reject a tentative agreement last month. While many of BC's 60,000 unionized nurses are covered under essential service agreements, the union has implemented targeted action, including a ban on non-nursing duties and non-essential overtime. To talk more about today's picket lines on the island and what it means in the days and hours ahead, here's Mackenzie Reid. Mackenzie.
Well, Scott, in the latest escalation of the province-wide labor dispute between the union and the Health Employers Association, hundreds of BC Nurses union members took to the picket lines outside of Victoria General Hospital today. The nurses and other healthcare members lined the sidewalks in front of the hospital, yelling chants and wearing signs calling for better nurse-to-patient ratio, safer working environments, and better patient care. Because of all of this, Island Health warned yesterday that several services at the hospital could be canceled or postponed today, including lab services, some procedures, and appointments. The union says this is an unfortunate and hard situation, stressing that nurses would rather be giving care to patients than standing out on the picket lines.
But the system can no longer be carried on the backs of nurses, and certainly, our other efforts of advocacy have not gone far enough. And so, again, anybody who is impacted by this job action, we 100% regret that and understand that that will cause some hardship for people.
The union president says a mediator has been appointed to help resolve the dispute between the union and the Health Employers Association. She says she is hopeful this is a positive move forward, but believes it could take some time. We will continue to see picket lines pop up across the island this week, with pickets starting at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital tomorrow morning, then at Royal Jubilee Hospital and South Island Surgical Centre on Tuesday. Scott?
All right, thanks so much, Mackenzie. Some people on Qualicum Beach are reporting an abandoned boat near shore are now upset with the response. They say they reported it to Coast Guard, but since then the boat has overturned. Here's Kendall Hansen.
Strewn across the beach at low tide are the remains of a 38-foot pleasure craft. Some people today are taking pieces. Many are concerned about the environmental damage it poses.
There's at least 3 batteries. There's an engine there. There's a fuel tank over there. There is a gas-powered stove.
James Austin says it was floating at an unauthorized buoy before someone in a boat cut it loose. Neighbors reported the vessel was listing to the Canadian Coast Guard June 30th when it was still intact. The Coast Guard confirms that staff attended the boat July 3rd, removed 95 liters of diesel and put a boom around it, but it still ended up smashing to pieces.
Somebody should be responsible for cleaning it up. Whoever owns it, whoever it's registered to.
There's eelgrass in the area, and Austin, a commercial fisherman, says it's an important area for herring and other seafood.
This area is the area 14-4, statistical fishing area, that was open until a few weeks ago, and now it's closed for chemical contamination. And the only reason I'm told from DFO is that it's because of the sinking boat. It closed the area, this whole beach, all the way down into past French Creek. So nobody can harvest anything.
The region's NDP MP says people have notified his office with their concerns about the lack of response from the Coast Guard.
It's way cheaper to get ahead of it, and the government needs to get ahead of it right now. We've got over 900 vessels that pose an immediate threat to our coast that need to be removed and recycled. The government needs to roll out their plan and let coastal British Columbians know what that plan is.
The boat's owner says he was trying to right the ship on July 3rd, the day the Coast Guard took out the diesel, but he ran out of opportunity with a change in the tide. He says that night a storm and waves smashed the boat into pieces. He says he never intended to make an environmental mess, and he intends to clean the beach up.
The long-beaked common dolphin, which is uncommon in our waters, was spotted multiple times off the island in the past week. Experts say it's a tropical mammal that rarely travels this far north, but something specific brought it here.
That was the juvenile that we posted about on our social media of a long-beaked common dolphin.
Well, how cool is that? To think that they've come here as part of their summer holiday, but at the same time, the fact that these are what we call a vagrant species, like they don't belong here.
One juvenile known to have been sighted on northwest Vancouver Island, one adult in amongst Dall's porpoises on northeast Vancouver Island.
The ones that we commonly see are the Pacific white-sided dolphins. They are our local dolphins. They're bigger, they're better adapted for colder water.
The question was, is this a Pacific white-sided dolphin? To which I could scream, no, it is not a Pacific white-sided dolphin. What they're doing here is what motivates all of us. If it's not about sex, it's about food. So it is a gregarious species that usually, like all dolphins, are in bigger numbers. So it is unique that they are on their own.
They have been seen here before. Up around Vancouver Island, but it's always been in association with El Nino events. And guess what? We have a major El Nino event shaping up. It would appear that they're here because the water is warming. It's at a temperature that they can tolerate, and they will ultimately go back south again. But it's quite exciting to think that, I may get to see common dolphins here in BC along with other people, because it's not a species that I've ever seen here. So it is extremely rare.
Several sculptures in this year's Quality Food sand sculpting competition in Parksville were damaged overnight in what organizers believe was an act of vandalism. The Parksville Beach Festival Society says the damage was discovered this morning, forcing sculptors to repair their creations ahead of the exhibition's 5-week run. Adding the incident is particularly disappointing given this week's of work invested by the international artists along with volunteers and staff who helped bring the annual Beach Fest event to life. The Society is asking anyone who witnessed suspicious activity or has information about the incident to contact organizers or call local police. A reward is being offered for information leading to the ID of those responsible. Basketball fans will have a chance to see high-level basketball in Victoria this summer. Canada's senior women's team will host UCLA, the 2026 NCAA Women's Basketball National champions on Wednesday, July 22nd. Canada's senior women's national team tips off against the 2026 NCAA champs for an exhibition game at Save-On-Foods Memorial Center. This game is a celebration of how far the women's game has come and an opportunity for fans to witness some of the best sports, the very best athletes on Canadian soil. For more information on tickets and event times and more details on the matchup, you can head to our website at cheknews.ca. The Victoria Pride Festival wraps up tonight, and the major event taking place this morning with tens of thousands of people lining the streets in the downtown core to take part and witness the 2026 Victoria Pride Parade. The event is a moment of celebration, activism, and community for the 2S LGBTQ communities. With more on today's parade, here's Eden Chipperfield.
Cheers, bubbles, and horns fill the air as Victoria kicks off its 32nd Pride Parade, and it's a celebration that's packed with excitement and community spirit.
We're expecting anywhere between 60 and 70,000 viewers, not including actual walkers in the parade, which I think we've estimated at 3,000 walkers in the parade on top of that.
But behind the rainbows is a message of unity, as many are reflecting on the purpose behind Pride, a protest to be proud of queer identities in a time where anti-2S LGBTQIA+ rhetoric is on the rise.
In the political climate where we are seeing other provinces taking more of a conservative lean, as well as, of course, our neighbors to the south, taking a more significant drawback of 2S LGBTQIA+ rights. It's important to make sure that we keep fighting and ensuring that our rights stay today, tomorrow, and for always.
According to census data, Victoria has the most gender diversity among Canadian large urban centres and has the largest proportions of transgender and non-binary people in Canada. For one attendee from the US, being proud is a statement.
Pride is really important because in the States right now, there have been approximately over 350 anti-LGBT bills across the country, not just federally, but locally in multiple different state Senate districts. I very much do appreciate being in a city that is surrounded by queer joy.
That joy is felt here today among the parade attendees who have shown up to support the community and show their solidarity.
I'm kind of older, so this has been I've watched this evolution, and it brings me a lot of joy to see the changes in my lifetime, in terms of acceptance and appreciation and value and just sort of community and all that.
Just being visible and just showing up and having this many people around in a visible place like downtown on Government Street where like all these tourists are and all these other people are, it's a form of protest in itself, being visible, being out. You're saying we're here. We're not going away.
If you missed the parade, you can watch an encore presentation at 7 right here on CHEK.
And also the parade will be on our YouTube channel and on CHEK Plus as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the hosting job today. You did a great job.
Yeah, it was, as always, a very fun parade.
Terrific
Great
event.
to see so many people taking part, more than 3,000 people walking in it, all the people lining the streets. And I have to say, the drone shots we had this year, first year with drone shots, were just spectacular of the Empress Hotel, the Inner Harbor.
It was a beautiful day for it.
Yeah, a little bit breezy as expected, but nice to see that sunshine today, and temperatures are going to warm up a little bit. So that's the good news if you're hoping for some warmer weather. Let's take a look at our radar map and you can see how things were shaping up for the island today. So just some little pockets of precipitation for parts of the island, Olympic Peninsula, as well as seeing just a little dusting there. But thankfully it did not rain on our parade today, and it's looking like things will continue to be dry for the South Island in particular, as well as more southern sections of the East Island as well. But some sunshine in store this week, some warmer temperatures headed our way as well. Some exceptions though. North Island still not looking like it'll be that warm, but there is some sunshine for the North Island, so that is the good news there. Well, it's a bird, it's a plane, or is it a spaceship? For today's weather photo, we have some pretty cool clouds. These are lenticular clouds, which often look like flying saucers. Ruth Eastward capturing the unusual sight over Cordova Bay in Saanich this week. She said it was quite otherworldly. And CHEK viewer Wendy Sellers also sent in this shot taken Tuesday night, this time over Sydney. So these types of clouds often happen near mountains. Mount Fuji in Japan is a very famous place. You can see lenticular clouds. You can send weather photos to photos@cheknews.ca. And after I showed you some rainbow cloud photos yesterday, Kim Lundquist sent in this shot of the phenomenon taken over Duncan yesterday. And here's another look at cloud iridescence. That's a scientific name for it. Over Duncan yesterday afternoon, Bob Gillespie says he'd never seen anything like it before and said it looked like it was a feather from the wing of an angel. Very good description there. It's a perfect shot to show on Pride Parade Day. Now, if you'd like to learn more about rainbow clouds and what causes them, just go to the Weather School page on our website at cheknews.ca. Coming up today on Pet Check, we have a puppy pile up, just the cutest puppy, Scott. We're also going to talk about more summer dangers, things to think about at the beach if you take your dog or your pet to the beach. And of course, I'll have your full forecast coming up, as well as the latest on that sunshine and those warmer temperatures.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Tess. Much more still ahead. When we come back, we will take you out to Toronto. We'll have the latest on the investigation after the deadly shooting in that city when we come back.
This week at The Brick, it's Canada's biggest appliance sale. Get up to $1,000 off select major appliance packages.
Get a local and personal experience when you invest with Cooper Pacific.
Our funds provide you with income and growth options that help secure your retirement.
Trust a family business with a legacy of experience and stability.
Visit cooperpacific.ca.
Yeah, I hear you. I stopped voting years ago. I read somewhere that they don't even count the ballots. Now, what was that for?
I had to fact check you because you were spreading misinformation. This is why we need credible journalists who fact-check information before sharing it.
Got it. I guess I will vote.
Come on.
Up we go. I can't even remember where I read that.
At ComSense, craftsmanship and integrity come first. While others may use plywood with higher formaldehyde, at ComSense, we meet the safest standards using only the finest materials. From hidden dado joints, German drawer slides and hinges, and a variety of premium doors, we build our cabinets to last. Backed by a lifetime warranty. Get 10% off and a free sink and faucet. Visit ComSenseKitchenCabinets.com today. If it's quality, it's ComSense.
Dozens of properties in the East Kootenay region are under evacuation alert as another out-of-control wildfire burns. The Regional District of East Kootenay has placed 72 properties in the Premier Lake area under an evacuation alert after a wildfire grew this weekend. The BC Wildfire Service says the fire is about 3 kilometers west of Premier Lake Provincial Park and is about 115 hectares. Those in the area are being asked to look out for a firefighting aircraft working out of nearby bodies of water. The East Kootenay alert is the latest BC wildfire notice asking people to be prepared to flee since twin blazes near Boston Bar and the Fraser Canyon spurred alerts and evacuations. 2 people are dead and multiple injured after a shooting at a Toronto street festival.
This seemed to be an exchange of gunfire between individuals targeting each other, obviously indiscriminately putting vast numbers of people in great danger.
13,000 people were attending the festival last night when shots rang out just after 8 in the evening. Officials say there is no continuing threat to the public, but the second day of the popular festival was canceled. Police ask anyone with footage or information to contact their local police.
If you want action, excitement, and a great night of family fun, then make it Saratoga Speedway. From April to September, see all the thrills that only Saratoga can offer. Get your tickets now at SaratogaRacing.ca. Saratoga Speedway, Vancouver Island's home of speed.
You're not going to recycle that?
It's just one. It's also just one for this late night line mate, one for the drive-through diner, and one for the fully loaded fisherman. Which means it isn't just one. Every beverage container matters. Don't trash them, return them.
Do you want this? Do you need it? Are you gonna buy it?
We needed some support with my mother-in-law. She gets the regular tests done, and the doctor couldn't figure out why she wasn't doing so well. And we knew why. She wasn't taking her blister pack pills properly. Andrea is going to my mother-in-law's home every single morning to hand my mother-in-law her pills and watch her take them properly.
Heart at Home, enabling patients to live healthier lives at home for longer. Available from Heart Pharmacies.
The Summer Sizzler sale is back on at One Stop Furniture and Mattress for the entire month of July, with savings up to 50% off. See our huge selection of Canadian-made furniture for every room in your home.
One Stop Furniture and Mattress,
where you're number one.
Your pet's called and they want everything. From July 6th to the 12th, save an extra 20% online only with promo code SAVE20. With options to get it today. PetSmart. Anything for pets.
This week on Political Capital, the Massey Tunnel is massively over budget, and the FIFA games wrap up in Vancouver. Our panel breaks it all down Sundays on CHEK and wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by Uber Canada.
This CHEK program is brought to you in part by Real Rug Washing by LoverRug.com. Fall in love with your rugs all over again.
In Victoria's Fairfield neighborhood, a garden draws visitors from all over the world. More than 70 volunteers keep the garden running, and Tess introduces us to someone who has been making a difference for a decade.
Okay, time to get this day started.
Every Friday, you'll find Leslie Wood at Abkhazi Garden.
getting her post at the summer house ready for visitors.
So this is the first building that was built on this property in 1946 when Peggy Pemberton, as she was then, bought the property.
It's the same year Peggy Pemberton Carter married Prince Nicholas of Kazi after both were held captive during the Second World War.
The story that they have of their lives is the sort of story that it almost sounds like it's made up. It's so much rags to riches and drama, but we can document every bit of it. She was reunited with Nicholas and they decided to get married.
It's a love story for the ages. This is, after all, the garden that love built, and Leslie cherishes her time here.
One of the things that I think is important with volunteer work is that you find things that you really love to do.
Leslie is amazing. She's contributed to the garden for 10 years now in various ways. She's the docent at the garden, so she welcomes people from all over the world and tells them the story. But she can also ID plants. She helps with our ID books.
That's Calicanthus.
As a gardening enthusiast with a degree in botany, Leslie fell in love with the garden when a friend first brought her here a decade ago.
I was just absolutely blown away by the garden. I thought it was so beautiful. And it was so peaceful as well. And I signed up to volunteer that very day. That one there that hasn't flowered yet.
Leslie and her husband had just moved to Victoria from Vancouver. She'd just retired from her job, and she was at a turning point in her life.
2016, I turned 60 the day we sold our beloved house in New Westminster. 2 weeks later, I retired from a job I really loved. And 2 weeks after that, we were here living in Victoria. And I'd sort of thought everything would fall into place very nicely, but it didn't. I found myself really unhappy at very loose ends. Calicarpus means beautiful flower.
But spending time volunteering in the garden helped Leslie figure out her next chapter.
For me, it was a place of peace and a place of rediscovering myself. And now I just say it's my happy place.
This world-renowned garden is celebrating 80 years this year, and it wouldn't still be here without volunteers.
We have over 70 volunteers. It was the community that saved this garden, and it's the community that helps keep it operating.
For Leslie, who grew up in a family that volunteers, it's the perfect spot to help make a difference.
Vital People is brought to you in part by the Victoria Foundation, connecting people who care with causes that matter.
We've been showcasing and highlighting different challenges and opportunities for the economy here on the island in our Island Economy series. Joining us now to talk about some of those hurdles and highlights is President of Urban Futures, Andrew Ramlow. Andrew, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
I know it's a challenging time for a lot of different people around the globe. So coming and focusing on the island specifically, I imagine a lot of those are mirrored from what's happening around the world is happening here on the island as well. It's hard to ignore outside forces not having an impact here. But when we look at the island specifically, let's start with some of the challenges. What are some of the issues people are going through, and what are we going to see in the maybe months, years ahead?
Well, let's start on the economy side, obviously. On the opportunity side, BC forecasts right now about 60,000 net new jobs, so a growing economy on the island. So definitely a good scenario on that side of things.
And where do those jobs come from?
In terms of which sector of the economy, most of them are projected for services on the health side of things, so the consumer services side, and then professional and business services as well.
Okay.
So within that is that broad body is also like retailing and a lot of the stuff that is a person-to-person type of job.
Okay.
But then we do layer on some of the professional services as well, like architects and consultants.
And how long of a time period are we talking about for 60,000 jobs?
Next decade. Between now and 2035.
Years. Okay.
Yeah. So there's the opportunity side of it. We can flip that around and look at the challenge side of it. The BC forecasts expect that over that same period, there's going to be about 125,000 people retire from the island's labor force. So that's about a quarter of the existing stock of people working. So an opportunity, certainly.
To fill those roles.
To fill those roles. But a really big challenge if you're an employer looking forward. We should definitely see tightening labor markets on the island and in other jurisdictions in BC.
Is there a risk that those retirees and those roles will just disappear and not be filled?
Well, it depends on the sector. Some of them
Okay.
will. Back to things like AI. AI will certainly replace some of those jobs and not require them to be refilled. But if you look at a lot of the consumer services, AI is like really hard to do some of those consumer-based services where it is an interaction between people. And think about things like healthcare. May have an implication on the diagnostic side of things, but something like a nurse practitioner, we're still going to need lots and lots of them.
And anyone can tell you who lives here on the island, it's not cheap. I doubt it's going to get cheaper. So as these jobs go away, how do you attract people from other parts of the country or around the world to be able to set up shop here and take these opportunities?
Well, this is where it becomes a really interesting interplay between the economic outlook and the demographic outlook. So over that same period of time, BC Stats, our provincial forecasting agency, expects there to be about 70,000 more people on the island over that same 10-year period.
From?
All over the place.
Okay.
So the vast majority of people who are coming to the island have historically been coming from other parts of BC, interestingly.
Yeah, okay.
That's about 70% of them, about 20% from other provinces in Canada, and only about 10% from international origins. With that being said, some of that interprovincial stuff or the intra-provincial are people who had just immigrated in a previous period, right?
Okay.
So it's a bit of a mix, but nonetheless, big changes in terms of the growth. I'd say that forecast is reflective of the new immigration targets federally, which are much lower now than what they were 2 and 3 years ago. So that, from my perspective, is relatively conservative growth on the 70,000. Only about half of that is going to be of people of working age, 25 to 64.
I was going to say, because in the wild, when you talk to people, they come from parts of BC or Alberta, Ontario to retire, not necessarily come and take a job. So how do you attract that youth movement?
Yeah, well, again, I think one, you got to provide them economic opportunity. We certainly see that if we look at the labor market
And
outlook.
are these jobs that people can afford to live?
Oh, well, there you hit on one of the sort of keystone elements. It's an available and an affordable housing stock. How do you attract people? Number one factor, the second factor, they need a job opportunity to come. But once they figure out what that job opportunity is, they're going to need some place to live as well. So alongside that 70,000 net new people, we're probably looking at in the range of about 35 to 40,000 new dwelling units. But I actually think that 70,000 people is a relatively conservative forecast.
Okay, you think it'll be more?
I think it'll be more. Much like I've always said that Victoria and Vancouver Island, demographically, you guys are like you're older. So you're at like the leading edge in terms of what the rest of Canada is going to see in the coming decades. You've got about almost a third of your population is over the age of 65. It's in the low to mid 20s in the rest of Canada. So in terms of that aging side of things, what we're talking about, 180,000 net new positions or jobs. We only have 35,000 new people forecast to come.
To put you on the spot as we wrap up here, do you see a bright spot for the island in the next 10 years, or do you think it's going to be a tough go?
It's going to be both. A tough go in the short term because of the economic situation we're in right now, the economics and the politics in terms of our interactions with the United States. But then I look at things like fiscal resources at the province and at the federal level. There's some challenges there, but I think with respect to broad economy, you look at the number of job opportunities that are going to be here, and I think there's a golden opportunity there as well.
Really appreciate your insight. Thanks so much for taking the time, Andrew.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Much more still ahead when we come back after this.
I'm Tess Van Stratton, and your full island forecast is coming up. But first, here's a look at weather around the world. Partly sunny and 31 in Vienna, Austria. A humid 33 and mostly sunny in Valencia, Spain. And high clouds and a breezy 28 in Villanueva, Guatemala.
Weather around the world is brought to you by ComSense Cabinets. Designed for your space, built for your life.
This summer, Victoria comes together at the Q Center. Big hits, big goals, big moments. Bring the family and be part of Victoria's summer-long party at the Q Center. Victoria Shamrocks Lacrosse. Get your tickets now.
Jeep is for anyone. Anyone who gets it. Where a little mud means you're in. No signups, no introductions, just what we do. It's a club that knows how to take something with them and leave something behind. Built by the ones who started it and the ones taking it further. Jeep is not for everyone, but it is for anyone.
A creamy Parmesan and bacon quarter pounder? There literally are no words for the Quarter Pounder fans.
Dive into adventure with Prince of Wales. Experience the trip of a lifetime watching orcas, humpback whales, and more. Book now, only at princeofwales.com.
It's time to think outside the box about your next mattress purchase. You can't stuff a high-quality mattress into a box. High-quality foam is way too dense to compress that way. We invite you to come in and try out your mattress first. We customize our foam mattresses to your comfort to create the perfect tailor-made flippable mattress that will support you for years of great sleep. Then we deliver it full size because a real mattress comes in a truck, not a box. At McGeechee's, we know foam.
Trying to predict the future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be absolutely fantastic.
Optimize your windows with Sunshade Film Systems, a local family-owned window film business serving Victoria and Vancouver Island for over 20 years. From consultation to installation, commercial or residential, Sunshade Film Systems has a window film solution for you. Reduce heat, glare, and harmful radiation with sun control solar films. Increase privacy while adding a custom touch with graphic films, or add security and protection with anti-intrusion security films. Sunshade Film Systems, solutions for comfortable living.
Beautiful shot out of Nanaimo, Tess. Pretty tough to complain. It was a very pleasant day in most parts of the island, it seems.
Yes, it certainly was. And the beginning of this week, we're actually looking at warmer temperatures, lots of sunshine as well. Some exceptions to that, but here's a look at our temperature map just to show you. Tomorrow, you can see South Island, East Island, parts of the Central Island. There's Port Alberni getting back into the red there. So really warm temperatures, right around seasonal for most areas, slightly warmer for some parts of the island. North Island, though, still staying on the cooler side there. Let's take a look at that North Island forecast after I show you the futurecast so you can see things moving, a little cloud cover moving in. So starting off the day, sunny likely for Greater Victoria, then we'll see some increasing cloud cover. Other parts of the island also can expect to see that increasing cloud cover as well before we have some sunnier days ahead after tomorrow. But before we get to our full forecast, some wild weather on the prairies. Summer's often storm season in other parts of North America. CHEK viewer Irene Matthews sending in this video her son Bradley took in front of his house in Harris, Saskatchewan, to show us what we're missing out on. Yes, Bradley, you can keep those thunderstorms. We are good. And that is good news for us because a lot of fires can be sparked by thunderstorms. So we don't have many thunderstorms here on the island, which helps reduce the risk of fires as a result of those thunderstorms. But let's take a look at that North Island picture now for tonight. So there is a 60% chance of early evening showers, some fog patches developing overnight as well. Otherwise, shifting to partly cloudy conditions tonight. Then tomorrow, expect a mainly cloudy day ahead for tomorrow. Temperature-wise, still mid-teens for most areas. Some spots in inland areas will likely be a little bit warmer than that. But sunshine is in store in your extended forecast. Now for the west coast of the island, small chance of early evening showers for Tofino, Ucluelet, Tassis, as well as Gold River. Other inland areas, Port Alberni down to Lake Cowichan, we're not expecting shower activity, but expect to see partly cloudy conditions, maybe some clearing. So if it's not looking like just a couple clouds right now, you could expect to see that later. Fog patches also developing inland as well as for those coastal areas. And then tomorrow, mid-20s for Port Alberni, Gold River, Lake Cowichan. So that's right around seasonal. And then Tofino, Ucluelet, Tassis into the high teens. Mainly cloudy conditions for those coastal areas. Inland can expect to see a mix of sun and cloud. So you might have sunnier periods and then cloudier periods. But all in all, looking like not a bad day for tomorrow for the west coast of the island. East Island and Powell River, it really depends where you are. So more northern sections, Campbell River down to Parksville, Qualicum, actually have a 60% chance of early evening showers and then clearing. I did have some reports of people in more northern sections of the East Island seeing some much needed shower activity, so that's good news there. And then cooler conditions inland for those northern sections. Only 8 as the overnight low compared to 11 as the overnight low for sections by the water. But after that, risk of showers showers. Expect to see a bit of clearing, so shifting to partly cloudy conditions. Then Nanaimo south down to the Cowichan Valley, partly cloudy conditions for tonight. So if it's not looking that clear right now, you will see some clearing later, but then it's the reverse tomorrow. So kicking off the day sunny for Nanaimo down to the Cowichan Valley with increasing cloud cover as the day progresses, likely in the afternoon for you. So shifting to a mix of sun and cloud and then potentially mainly cloudy conditions. More northern sections starting off of a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow and then increasing cloud cover in the afternoon. Powell River looking at some clouds for tonight. Similar story where you might start off with a mix of sun and cloud and then see a little more cloud cover in the afternoon. Some fog patches by the water as well, particularly for Comox and Campbell River. Now here's a look at the South Island picture. So beautiful conditions for tonight. Looking at clear skies or just a few clouds for most areas for tonight. 12 is that overnight low, 11 for Salt Spring. A little bit cooler for Port Renfrew, and then Port Renfrew also has that small chance of early evening showers tonight. Otherwise, looking at partly cloudy conditions, mainly cloudy for Port, there is a bug right there, mainly cloudy for Port Renfrew for tomorrow with some fog patches developing overnight, burning off for you tomorrow morning. Souk has the potential to see some fog patches as well. And then that wind again kicking up by Juan de Fuca Strait. West winds 30 to 50 kilometers an hour for tonight. Tomorrow, the temperature really depends where you are in Greater Victoria. So most areas, highs around 23 degrees. Cooler spots like Souk, highs only around 17 degrees for tomorrow. 22 for Salt Spring Island. And then we can expect to see increasing cloud cover in the afternoon. So likely starting off the day sunny or mainly sunny, and then shifting to a mix of sun and cloud, and then more cloud cover in the afternoon. Possibly not till later afternoon for some parts of the capital region. Zooming out across the province, some sunshine in store for Vancouver, Whistler, and really most of southern BC, central BC, and even as we zoom out, we can expect to see sunshine, not just for northern BC, but really right across the country. So a sunny start to the week for most areas, still some weather warnings in place. So that air quality warning by Whitehorse and also into the Northwest Territories, some air quality warnings because of wildfire smoke. Also Quebec, northern Quebec looking at air quality warnings from wildfire smoke. And then those heat warnings are only expanding. So basically from the Alberta-Saskatchewan border all the way into the Ontario-Quebec border, we do have heat warnings in effect. Temperatures, as you can see, mid-30s for some areas like Thunder Bay and Winnipeg. 36 is the actual temperature, factoring in humidity, lots of areas above 40. So feeling like it's hotter than 40 degrees, and then some areas with that humidex rating as high as 42, even 43 degrees. More temperate conditions for Atlantic Canada. Pretty nice day though, some areas hitting 30. All right, here is a look at the North Island forecast. So after that mainly cloudy day tomorrow, you finally warm up Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Those look like they might be two of the nicest days of the next little run. And then partly sunny conditions Thursday, cooling off on Friday and clouding over, and then partly sunny Saturday, back up into the high teens for you there. For the Central Island, you can also expect some sunshine. So after that, shifting conditions for tomorrow into a mix of sun and cloud Tuesday, Wednesday. At this point, just a small chance of showers both days. Temperatures in the mid-20s, 60% chance of showers for Thursday, and then drying out again. If you don't see that precipitation Friday, Saturday, looking dry as well. So at least there's some chance of shower activity. Those temperatures were for East Island areas by the water. So inland, factor in a few extra degrees, you'll be warmer. For the South Island, after that mix of conditions tomorrow with some sunshine and some cloud cover, lots of sunshine for Tuesday, but those cooler spots by the water, you know who you are, only getting up to 18 degrees tomorrow. Cloudy and cooler overall on Wednesday, and then we actually have a chance of precipitation on Thursday. That's the good news. We desperately need it on the South Island before we dry out again, and we head back up into the mid-20s Friday, Saturday with partly sunny conditions. All right, here's a look at today's country grocer celebrations. Happy 90th birthday to Pat Beattie of Victoria. Best wishes to James Vi of Victoria, who celebrated his 90th birthday yesterday. 91st birthday greetings go out to Billy Stewart of Victoria. All the best to Mary Irvin of Victoria as she celebrates her 94th birthday. Best wishes to Joan McEachern of Courtney as she marks her 94th birthday today. We'd like to wish Jack Rossiter of Parksville a wonderful 102nd birthday. We hope you had a great day, and a very happy 103rd birthday to Peggy Pierce of Victoria as she marks this amazing milestone. And now it's time for your Smile of the Day.
Smile of the Day, brought to you by Dr. Ross Crapo and Associates.
If we haven't met you yet, we're just a phone call away. If we can help, we'd like to.
This is amazing.
So CHEK viewer Lynn Levine sent in this cool video of kingfishers at Saanich Bay. Cool. Look at that fish. So this kingfisher is definitely putting the fisher in kingfisher. Lynn says the beautiful bird was trying to get the fish down before it could get away. But I think the other guy is hoping he would share.
Oh, maybe.
It's like,
it's cool to see them together
I would
like
like
that.
some fish too. Yeah, and
Great
that's a pretty
colors.
big fish for that bird, it looks like.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Great video.
He can say it was this big.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
if it got
there's
away.
evidence. Thanks so much, Tess. Much more still ahead. We'll come back right after this. Pet Check still ahead.
Renovation, meet innovation. With the Bath Fitter PermaFit solution, we measure with laser precision so your tub fits perfectly over your old one. We install in a day with no demo or mess. Smart, cost-effective, and guaranteed for life. Bath Fitter. It just fits.
Do your eyes itch, water, or burn? Are they constantly irritated and uncomfortable? These are symptoms of dry eye. Island Eye Care is your solution for long-term relief. Our specialized InMode treatment is a safe and highly effective solution. This non-invasive procedure targets inflammation and blocked oil glands to restore natural function. InMode's clinically proven technology is Health Canada approved. Regain your ocular health and wellness. Call Island Eye Care today.
I'm Rob Garrow. Now it's time for your Victoria Foundation Community Check-In.
Enjoy a weekend in beautiful Nanoose Bay with a self-guided studio tour and waterfront concert at the Nanoose Bay Cafe. Visit nbst.ca for a studio tour map. Celebrate the coast, the catch, and the people who make it all possible at the BC Crab Fest, featuring an authentic crab boil, live music, and educational marketplace. Over 50 acts will perform on 5 stages at the 42nd Annual Islands Folk Festival, presented by the Cowichan Folk Guild. For tickets, visit islandsfolkfestival.ca. The Moss Street Paint-In is a vibrant open-air arts festival featuring hundreds of local and regional artists, live demonstrations, music, food, and family-friendly activities. Hosted by Langford's The Spinnacle Yarns, the Entwined Market features over 40 fibre artists and vendors from across BC and Alberta at the John Horgan campus, July 18th.
The Victoria Foundation Community Check-In, collaborating to uplift community for over 90 years.
Duradeck. Rain or shine, we've got you covered.
Live viewing on the big screen, live entertainment, and free family-friendly programming. Experience the Summer of Soccer in downtown Victoria. Catch the action at participating bars, pubs, and community events until July 19th. Visit dvba.ca/Summer of Soccer.
Well, as we've seen before, to be big league around here doesn't require a sport with bright lights and big crowds. In fact, it doesn't even have to be a sport. This week's big league treatment takes us inside the world of competitive Pokemon.
Draw 2. Okay.
To get a seat at the table, you've got to check your reality at the door. Pokemon is a world of its own.
Like, yay, Pokemon for the win.
It's an animated series, it's movies, it's video games, it's toys, hats, and teas. But at its essence, it's a card game played by millions worldwide since it launched 30 years ago. And it's full of words and phrases you probably don't understand.
There's a deck called Mega Starmie. This is Mega Zeraora EX. So if you have 2 Blissies, you do a Glass Trumpet. He's kind of like a Thundercat.
There's a lot to take in the gaming room at Epic Games, but there's one thing you don't see.
I don't see a lot of dummies.
Yeah, unfortunately, these guys are all really smart.
When I've bitten off more than I can Pikachu, it's wise to seek guidance from a person in a cool hat. That's Caspi. He says the most powerful card doesn't always win.
One card that you use, other people start recognizing, and then they'll try to counter it with cards that they use, but then you'll use cards in your deck to counter those counters.
There are 1,025 Pokemon from which to carefully curate your 60-card deck. From a strategy standpoint, it's even chessier than chess. And like chess, it has a world championship.
Pokemon World Champion!
Of the millions of players worldwide, 12-year-old Hudson Burkhardt of Shawnigan Lake is going.
When you do well at tournaments, you get points. The top 80 kids in North America get to go to the World Championships.
Hudson is the 58th ranked kid in North America, but his poke face is absolutely unreadable. He's not going all the way to San Francisco in August just to participate.
Get prizing, for sure. Top 4 would be really nice.
Little wonder Hudson has an eye for mythical creatures. His dad looks like a mythical hybrid of Zeus and Seth Rogen.
I think I can still do his laugh.
It's no laughing matter when he plays Pokemon with his son.
You and Hudson play at home. How does that go for you?
Not very good.
But he loves the game and loves even more that Hudson loves it.
I would have never dreamed of this. And now I'm loving it. And I'm happy to be a Pokedad.
Also in Hudson's corner is his coach, Drew. Yes, a Pokemon coach is a thing.
He's like really dialed into the game. He has a passion for the game. I think like if you love the game and you put the hours in, you can do well and even win money.
First prize is $50,000 US, plus about double that in cards and bonuses. And if you don't think that's big league, consider the collector side of Pokemon. The most expensive Pokemon card ever purchased went for $5.3 million. At that price, you could have purchased Van Gogh's The Novel Reader and had enough spare change left over for this McLaren. But they don't think about that in here. At Epic Games, it's about a community of card players.
We're always a welcoming environment. We want people to come learn, to play, to socialize. Don't be on the computer 24/7.
Everybody here started as an outsider, but it's nice to at least look the part.
You want to trade hats?
Sure.
So much for fitting in.
Man, I got a mailbox for a head. What do you think?
I think it looks great.
Do you like my hat?
But regardless of ability...
If you have like basic reading skills, I teach grade 3 kids this game.
Oh. You guys got any action on this?
There's a seat at the table for everybody.
The Big League treatment is brought to you by Island Canadian Tire Stores, proud supporter of Jumpstart. Because when kids can play, we all win.
Pet Check is coming up next, and it's a puppy pileup on Pet Check today. We have the ice cream litter. We're also talking about more summer dangers for pets. That's after the break. With Rob Shaw at 6, followed by the best of the upside. At 7, join Scott Fee, Eddie Licious, and me for the fun and colorful Victoria Pride Parade. Then at 8:30, it's Finding the Balance, followed by the movie Nobody's Fool at 8:45.
In 1936, the Victoria Foundation was founded with a simple idea: to uplift the community by investing in positive solutions.
Now we invite you to celebrate 90 years of uplifting Greater Victoria.
Join us on Saturday, September 26th for celebrations and entertainment.
Be inspired by New York Times bestselling author Ben Nemtin.
And welcome new CEO Ian Bird. Come celebrate 90 years of impact.
And the future community impact of the Victoria Foundation.
Every child on Vancouver Island deserves the chance to live their dream.
What a hit! A home run!
With your support, the Canadian Tire Jumpstart program builds more than a game. We build a community. When local kids can play, we all win.
Lease the 2026 Jeep Cherokee Hybrid from 1.99% for up to 24 months. Plus, eligible owners get $1,850 anniversary bonus cash.
You might think all money managers are the same. But while some may push high commission investment products, Fisher Investments Canada avoids them. Some advisors may have complex fees. Fisher Investments Canada doesn't. Our fees are transparent and aligned with the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why so many investors switch to us. Fisher Investments Canada. Clearly different money management.
Since 1967, Island Marble has been Victoria's bathroom specialist. Thank you for making us part of your renovation journey over the years. We promise to keep delivering expert craftsmanship and outstanding service. Discover the possibilities at Island Marble.
This CHEK program is brought to you by
Barclays Fine Jewelers. Come and experience our exclusive private bridal showroom.
Pet Check is brought to you by Bosley's, a proud supporter of the Victoria Humane Society. Go to petvalue.ca/companions for change.
It's puppy time on Pet Check. Look at these sweet little fluff balls. Hello, hello. We haven't had puppies this young in a while because they're only about 5 weeks old. They look like they're bigger.
I know they look like they're 8 weeks old.
They look like they're 8 weeks old, but they're only 5 weeks old.
They're our little babies. They're our ice cream litter, and they're only 5 weeks old. And as you can tell, I mean, Mom's a lab cross, but as you can tell, Dad's a Pyrenees cross. They've got that size in them, though it looks like there's some border collies stuck in there somewhere, but like always, these are the best kind. These are the mixed, mixed mutts.
The mixed mutts. They will be bigger dogs, I'm guessing, with that Pyrenees and in them, and their fur is so soft.
And honestly, their mother is the nicest dog I've ever met. When she was rescued, she went to a foster home, and the first night in the foster home, she met their dog, their cat, and their chickens, and was good with everything.
She's like, hi, new friends.
So she's going to be our unicorn dog. She'll be up for adoption in a couple of weeks, and yeah, she's lovely.
So they have a lovely temperament, Mama.
Yeah. And a Pyrenees dad, so they'll be very sweet. They'll be and it's just a Pyrenees cross, so it's not going to be like the strong guarding instincts, but you know, just a hi, honey.
And those bigger dogs tend to be not as crazy and energetic as smaller dogs.
As you can see, they haven't tried to hurt you.
Yeah, these are pretty chill for puppies. They're
I
just
know.
like, oh, hi, we're just hanging out. But like all puppies, they're going to chew everything. They're at that stage where they explore by their mouth. They're going to get into things, so you have to puppy-proof. You have to do puppy training. You have to do all the puppy stuff we talk about all the time, all the socialization. It's so important to keep them like this.
Absolutely. And do know that puppies, as sweet as they are a lot of work. We just got a call last night to have a puppy that they've had for 3 weeks returned because they've decided that it's a lot more work than they thought. So just, you know.
It's a lot of work.
I'm not trying to talk people out of it. I need them adopted.
We need them adopted, but we need them to stay where they're adopted. So they need to go to a forever home and stay because it's really hard on them, especially after they stay for a few months.
Yeah.
And then a new environment and they don't have the training. Yeah. So those are all things
and that's
to keep
one
in
thing
mind.
we will always take our animals back, and it's important that rescues always take their animals back and stand behind them. So if you do adopt from us and it's not working out, we will take them back. But we do want people to come in committed.
Yes, and all reputable rescues will take the animals back. It's in the contract usually where you have to give it back to the rescue if you're no longer able to look after it or decide you don't want to. Please make sure you're sure about it before you decide to adopt an animal, especially puppies that are a lifetime commitment and a work commitment. Not like the senior dog last week who was really low maintenance and you knew what you were getting. Buddy. But let's talk more about summer dangers. We're going to continue talking about some of the things because vets are sounding the alarm about things that are increasingly happening that are harming animals, and also in some cases it could be fatal.
Absolutely. And the really nice thing is now dealing with the vets, they're telling us all these things that I didn't even know before. Some things like to be aware of, that when you're like on the beach and you're sitting on the beach and you're having a drink and say you spill your drink, what happens is that because the sweetness of it, the dogs come and they eat it, and they're eating food that's left on the beach, and they're eating all that kind of stuff, and they're ingesting sand. And what happens is sand goes into them, goes down there, into their intestines, and causes blockages. So we're seeing lots of blockages from sand right now.
Oh, wow.
Which is something I never would even have considered or thought of.
And it's happening more because it probably wasn't happening as much before as well, right?
We're seeing so much of it now. And I think a lot of times people didn't know, like the dogs unfortunately passed away. So it's important that if your dogs are down at the beach and they're not feeling good and they're feeling a little nauseous afterwards, it's not just they might have got some seawater, which it's hard on them, but it also could be that they've ingested sand. Make sure that we don't have a blockage. So
and keep a close eye on them when you're at the beach, because it may not be you spilled your drink or you've left food. It could be they're finding things other people have left, which was what was happening in parks as well. We were talking about corn on the cob last week. So corn on the cob, people are leaving it in a park after a picnic, or seagulls are getting it out of garbage bins.
It's so funny you should say that because yesterday a crow dropped a corn cob in our yard, and I was like, Jim goes, where did this come from? And I said, the crow just dropped it.
So it's not just you being careful. It's
being careful, just watching everything your dogs. And I know it's hard, but if they get a hold of a corn cob, please.
You have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say.
I think this is Butterscotch of the ice cream.
Yes,
litter.
and so cute.
Lot to say. Butterscotch has some thoughts on.
Butterscotch has opinions. I have opinions.
Please keep everything safe. And if you are, even if you don't have a pet, if you're having picnics, if you're at the beach, make sure if you spill a drink, cover it fully up then with sand. Make sure you don't leave food on the beach. Make sure if you come across things that it could be a hazard, you can pick them up and discard them.
Absolutely. We're seeing things, and grapes. All of you guys with your charcuterie boards, and you're thinking it's good to have to give the dog something off the charcuterie board. Please stop
Not
giving
grapes.
them grapes.
No,
grapes.
grapes are very bad for
We're
pets.
seeing a lot of grape toxicity. Can't even say that word this morning.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
Yes, because it's toxic for them. They can also choke on them as well. So it's a twofold risk with grapes. Of course, that's a year-round risk, but we see it more this time of year as people do have picnics and barbecues and people over, and kids as well. Little kids they're not paying attention, right? They're dropping grapes. They're not noticing if the dog has one, or even giving pets grapes. So make sure you talk to your children about that as well, so they don't do that, because they think, oh, here, have a treat. But there's lots of other healthy treats for pets that will not make them sick or potentially kill them, unfortunately. Now, if you're interested in these guys from the ice cream litter, they won't be ready for adoption for a few weeks, but you can submit an application.
Absolutely.
Just go to the Victoria Humane Society website. We will put a link on our Pet Check page on the CHEK News website. That is cheknews.ca. And this one wants to come say hello. Wants to come say hi to Butterscotch.
That's the one I want.
To hear her thoughts. I know. And you love the black and white ones.
I know.
So cute. What a fluff ball. Thanks for watching. You know, as puppies go, they were.
Do you think they're already adopted?
Very chill, very calm. They're so cute. They were, yes,
Very
easy puppies as far as puppies go. No puppy is easy though. Yeah,
all right,
keep that in mind.
let's get into the pet pics.
Yes, we have something a little different for our viewer pet photos today. Look at those tongues. These cuties are Dougie and Murphy. They were Victoria Humane Society rescues. They were litter mates. They were brothers, and they're now 2 years old, and it's kind of hard to tell them apart. Murphy was adopted by Julie and Ron Thompson, and he was actually a viewer pet pick last month. Well, Cora Mee saw the photo on CHEK News and reached out to say she had his brother, Dougie, and would love to get them together for a reunion. So it turns out they actually live in the same neighborhood, and this was their super fun pool party reunion in Colwood. Cora says both Dougie and Murphy, with their big goofy smiles, make the world a happier place. I can totally see the resemblance there.
Very cute reunion. And this week we can expect warmer temperatures.
Yes,
a little more summer-like.
A little more summery, but it really depends where you are. If you're there's cooler spots by the water, and if you're there, it's going to feel cooler. Then we were up into the high 20s this week in parts of Greater Victoria. So
lovely.
Doesn't take much to get that hotter temperature, but it looks like it'll be a pretty nice week, and hopefully some rain for us.
All right, great day all around. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next weekend. Stacy will be here tomorrow at 5.
Good night.